Welcome back to the Creative Kiwi. Today we are going to be finishing off part 2 of our decoupage coasters. As you can see, it's now dried overnight and it's tightened quite well around the coaster. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually try and take off the excess. So what we're going to use is our very fine sandpaper. So this is it's upside down, but it's 150 grit, and so it's quite fine. So we've also got a felt circle that we've already cut out. We're going to need our Mod Podge, and we're also going to need some lacquer paint spray. Oh, and a paintbrush. Can't forget that. So I've already cut this out. You can use cork if you like. I just had some felt around. These are from Temu, and these are little metallic paints. They come in a set of 4 and they're pretty cool, and they also come with a tiny paintbrush. So what we're going to use is we're going to get put some something down so we don't get dust everywhere. And what we're going to do is we're going to scrape down along the edge, and so basically that's going to take off the excess of the tissue paper, was leaving the, and you see now it's starting to come away. So basically we just go around and very slowly and carefully kind of file off the excess tissue paper. So that's why you've got to be careful when you're putting the glue on, you're not putting it down the edge, but you can still file it off. It just takes a little bit longer and a bit more patience. So you want to make sure you take all of the excess tissue paper off, because then that will give you a nice smooth edge, and so that will be nice and smooth to then paint onto, which is going to be the next step. So when you're happy with that, just give it a bit of a wipe down. Wash your hands as well if you need to, especially with our dusty coasters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose a paint. This is the one I've decided to use, and I'm going to use the little dinky paintbrush that it came with. And so then this could be a little bit tricky, but what we're going to do, we're going to make sure you want enough paint on, because you want a nice even brush along the outside. So I kind of hold it in like a pinch, so then I'm not going to get paint on my hands or on my fingers, because I'm terrible at doing that and I seem to always do it. So you're just going to glide around the outside and just kind of go slowly and carefully, but it seems to be easier if you do it in long steady strokes rather than like that, rather than just little bits. So yes, you just take your time and go around, and as you can see, it was already looking quite cool. It's quite nice to have that metallic pop on the outside. Then when you're happy with that, you can leave it to dry. I just used my upturned bowl just so it could rest on that. And then when that's all dry, what we're going to do is we're then going to, luckily the lid was on that one, we're now going to cover the top with a bit of Mod Podge, just as a final seal. And then what we're going to do is we will then spray it with that lacquer, because then that will make it waterproof and kind of a bit more heat resistant. For me, going to be obviously putting your cups of tea and coffee on it. So just go around, give it a bit of a thin layer all over the top. And then when that's dry, you can then spray it with your lacquer paint. So I just got this from Mitre 10. It just kind of keeps it waterproof and it's clear. But obviously make sure you're going to do it outside, because it is pretty stinky and it's quite toxic. So then once that is done, you are on, so depending on what base your tile is, obviously this is the ceramic one, so I was going to go for the Adidas spray. If you're using a wooden coaster and you want to use a cork backing, you may be better off using the wood glue, which I will show you in a second. So this is obviously designed for wood. If you've got a wooden coaster, you may not want to have a backing at all. It's entirely up to you. You can choose what you want, and if you want, it's just these are a little bit scratchy, so I wanted a backing on them. So once that's all done and you've got your backing on, this is basically what your finished product will look like, which is pretty cool, and it makes such a nice gift. And so yeah, so now it's kind of non-slip, but it's not scratchy, and it won't scratch your surface or anything. And thank you for watching, and hope you give this a go, and don't forget to like and subscribe for any new videos that we do. And if you have any comments or suggestions on what you want us to cover, leave a comment and we'll